Hello folks and welcome to this edition of the winners and losers of the race. I'm sorry for this shifting focus, it looks pretty weird. Whatever. We are looking today at the winners and losers of the British Grand Prix 2020 edition. Pretty crazy race, especially during those last laps, with Lewis Hamilton getting another win at Silverstone, but barely making it with tire issues at the last lap. So now let's look at the overall result and who are the winners and losers of the British Grand Prix. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So our first winners, gotta say Red Bull. Crazy race for both drivers. Verstappen managed a lucky second place because of Valtteri Bottas's tire issues on lap 50. He could maybe have gone for victory, considering that Verstappen also stopped to change tires on lap 50. But because Lewis Hamilton also had issues on the very last lap, Verstappen managed to catch up and finish only a few seconds behind. So victory was in reach for Red Bull. They will be scratching their head and talking in the garage to decide or just figure out, was this pit stop really something they needed to do. Alex Albon, also great result considering everything that happened to him. Crash in FP2, missing a large part of practice 3, colliding with Magnussen on the first lap, getting a 5-second penalty and being one of the few drivers to do 2 pit stops during the race. Albon managed to find pace in his car and finish an amazing 8th place considering all of that. Hats off to him. He should be leaving the track with a smile today. So I give Red Bull this week a nice 8 out of 10. Continuing with Renault. Best result of the season for the French team. Both drivers finishing in the points. Ricciardo doing a spectacular 4th place, and both cars also having respectable quality, 8 and 9. They just did what they had to do during the race. Bit of luck toward the end with again tire issues on some of their competitors, but yeah, Ricciardo 4th, Ocon 6th. Finally the Frenchman seems to be finding out more about his car, getting the grip that he needs and making it closer to Daniel Ricciardo. It will be interesting to see next week as we come back again at Silverstone. Can Ocon make the best out of his car again and maybe finally get a better result than Daniel? We'll see, but again, congrats to Renault, best result of the season. They also deserve an 8 out of 10. Ferrari. Yeah, it's a mixed result for the Italian team, with Charles Leclerc getting a podium thanks to Valtteri Bottas' issues. But Vettel, literally, weekend to forget for him. He could not qualify better than 10 and finished 10th in the race. Almost out of the point if not for Bottas' issues. Leclerc strong weekend all the way. 4th in quali, stayed 4th during the whole race, and like I said, managed a podium in the end. He will be leaving the track happy. So because of Charles' form this weekend, I think Ferrari deserves to be winner. I give them a 7 out of 10. Okay, now this is gonna, if I move for the focus, be better somehow. Oh no, like. So I'm sorry for these issues, guy. Okay, so looking at this picture of Daniel Kvyat's crash, you would not guess that AlphaTauri would be considered a winner this weekend, but they were still able to make the most out of the opportunities that were presented to them this weekend. Yes, Kvyat crashing early on lap 13, but Pierre Gasly going with a strong pace and able to finishing 7th at the finish line, so getting some good points for AlphaTauri, baby Red Bull. Again, yeah, they took the opportunity that came to them, had good results overall. If not for that crash, even Kvyat could probably have been fighting for some points. So thanks to Pierre Gasly, they get this week a 7 out of 10. Mercedes. I debated for a while whether to put them in the winners or the passing grade because of the issues that they had during the last lap, and Bottas finishing 11th because of tire degradation. But Lewis Hamilton won the race. A tough last lap for him on, yeah, you can say 3 tires. He fought and managed to hold on to his car that was pretty much not even braking at the end. So Hamilton will leave the track happy. A win, 25 precious points in the championship. Bottas not so much, 0 points because again of tire issues that cost him a podium, and he had to do pretty much a whole lap before he could pit and change tires. But if you look at the positive, the team looked extremely strong again this weekend. Nobody could compete with them. Quali, Hamilton over 1 second faster than Verstappen in 3rd place. And during the race, both Mercedes a very good 10 seconds ahead of the Red Bull, and they could probably have had a bigger gap if they had wanted to. So a win, strong weekend overall, but leaving the track with maybe a sour taste in their mouth, and not because of champagne. They still deserve a 7 out of 10. Ooh, that's bright. Now we go to our passing grades. Williams. Satisfying weekend for the British team. They knew that coming at Silverstone they would probably be back toward the back of the grid after a few very lucky weekends in Austria and Hungary. Still, Russell managing to get again into Q2, showing that this car is definitely competing with the Alfa Romeo and Haas for the low midfield, or the back of the grid I should say. Nicolas Latifi still learning, started in the last place, actually before a penalty, and gotta improve his quality. Like he said, the car had Q2 pace, as George shown. In the race, both Williams not finishing last for once, which is great. Russell 12th place, a good result. Latifi 15 in front of Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen, and he was catching up on Antonio Giovinazzi at the end of the race. So they are finally back into some fight, but they need to improve from now on, because yeah, they were winners. Now they don't improve this week, so they should still deserve a passing grade considering where they were at this stage last year. So for Williams, Silverstone Grand Prix, it is a 6.5 out of 10. McLaren, another team that leaves with bitter taste in their mouth. After a strong quali, 5th and 7th, pretty good result there. Both cars fought in the midfield throughout pretty much the whole race. And it's only toward the end, again on the last lap for Carlos Sainz, that he had tire issues, putting him back in 13th place. Is that better? No, it's not. Okay, I'm sorry then. Yeah, 13th place for Carlos Sainz, and then Lando Norris getting a pretty good 5th place overall, so that's pretty much where Sainz should have been if not for tire issues, tire degradation at the end of the race. They should still be happy overall. They had the pace to be fighting for best of the rest. So McLaren this weekend, 6.5 out of 10. Now looking at Haas, not a great weekend. It's tough to put them in passing grades, but I want to commend them for trying something different again this weekend. Romain Grosjean, the only driver to not pit under a safety car, and then running in 5th place for part of the race, probably hoping for another safety car that would have given him a free pit stop and then fight for points. It did not come, so obviously he had to lose a lot of time and ended up at the back of the grid. Kevin Magnussen out on lap 1 after a collision with Alex Albon, so very unlucky there. But looking at the positive, Magnussen was happy with the car, saying that they think they had actually a fairly good pace. So making some improvement on that Haas, and hopefully soon they can be back fighting for some point. So for trying something different and trying to just do something when it doesn't work, just trying something else, they get a 6.5 out of 10. And now to our losers, starting with AlphaTauri. Alfa Romeo, sorry. There's too many Alpha on that grid. Can we go back to Sauber and Toro Rosso? So again, team did not manage to get into Q2 this weekend. The only team that did not make Q2 so far this season, and the race was just not much better. Giovinazzi did a good job overall under all circumstances, finishing 14th, but barely staying in front of Latifi and Romain Grosjean, who were catching super quickly. And Kimi, last place. Literally, this car was the slowest this weekend. It's only getting worse for them, it seems. I don't know what they can do to this point. It seems to be literally a fundamental issue with the cars. We cannot just blame the power unit, the Ferrari power unit, that is not great this year. There is something fundamentally wrong with Alfa Romeo this year, and they need to do something, or it's going to be a very, very, very long season. Only this weekend again, a 4 out of 10. And finally, the talk of the week, Racing Point and Nico Hülkenberg coming back. So it's on for them again this weekend, only getting from bad to worse. Starting the weekend with Sergio Perez being diagnosed with COVID-19. Hülkenberg had to take his place on a very last minute notice. Then in quali, only doing 13 for the Hulk, and Lance Stroll doing a 6th place. Not bad, but we all think that the Racing Point is a lot better than that this year. And come Sunday, just disaster. Hülkenberg's car just won't power up. He could not even make it to the grid. He could not even start the race. And this would have been some precious experience for Hülkenberg, who will most likely be back next week again. And without race experience, now he cannot really get into shape as much as he wanted to. On the positive side, he adapted super quickly to the car, so it is promising for next week. And Lance Stroll, just no pace today, finishing 9th in front of Sebastian Vettel. And if not for the bad luck of Bottas and Carlos Sainz, Stroll would not have even been in the points this weekend. It is a very bad weekend for Racing Point, one that they will want to forget, even though they got a few points at the end of the day. And also with the complaints from Renault still going on, we don't know if their car is legal. Racing Point this weekend, it's a 4 out of 10. So, want to finish with, of course, still asking you to like, subscribe, and comment. And next week we have the 70th anniversary Formula 1 Grand Prix again at Silverstone. with everything that happened today, I think it's going to be a very good race to watch. They're going to have softer tires than they had this week, so with everything that happened, I think a one-stop strategy will be impossible next week. The teams will be scratching their heads to find the best strategy and just come up with something. It will be something to watch. I sure plan to be there. It's going to be very interesting. So again, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. You can also follow me on Facebook at the F1 Corner. And thank you again for watching. Please tell me what I should improve. Obviously, the setup for this week was really bad. I don't know why. I need to get a better camera, a better setup. But encourage me and subscribe, like. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week for the 70th anniversary Formula 1 Grand Prix.